Hello. Figured I'd do a vlog. It's 12:29 on April 23rd. I don't really feel like talking, but I think I should do a video because I have a lot of weird shit hanging. And it's kind of rude of me to just kind of leave it hanging, so I'll do a video even though I don't really feel like it. I'm kind of bummed out right now because I've been losing a lot of stuff on Google Earth, but let me catch up on other stuff I've been talking about. I think before, it was like a long time ago, it was before I had my surgery. So there's my surgery. I have a little fold there. And then they called me back a week later, and he's like, "Oh, we have the results." And I was like, "Oh," and he's like, "Yeah, we got it all." So I was like, "Cool." So, and I guess with squamous cell carcinoma, skin cancer, it's 4 to 6% chance that it spreads. So I guess you just pay attention to like weird feelings or something. Anyway, oh wow, my hair looks fucking cool today, doesn't it? And then the other thing was my computer. I got my computer back, and this is why I haven't been doing videos. I got my computer back, and then that was when I did that drunken video. And then I didn't like touch my computer for like 3 days because at that point it had just freaked me out. I didn't want to deal with it, but I should have because I should have known that it was broken. But I saw that they fixed 2 other things, so I kind of hoped that would fix it. But yeah, but then the computer pretty much crashed when I tried to use it, and it wouldn't even do anything. So I just kind of gave up on it, and they were going to give me a new one, and they said it was going to be like 2 to 2.5 weeks. But then like a week later, they gave me a new one. I had a refurbished one before, and then this one that they gave me, this one right here. Let's see if it can film itself. That computer right there, you see it? That computer, it's a new computer. It's a 2015, and it's a new computer. I'm talking to myself. This is so trippy. Like looking at my eyes. Yeah, so I got like I guess a better one than before, and it has all the best top of the line like parts to it. Here, let's see here. I'll share the stuff about my computer. So it has El Capitan 10.11.3. The OS X, and then it has it's the MacBook Pro Retina 15-inch mid 2015, 2.8 gigahertz Intel Core i7 memory of 16 gigabytes with 1600 MHz DDR3 Macintosh HD startup disk, Intel Iris Pro 1536 MB serial number. No. Yeah, man. So it has a system report. It's got the software updates on it. Anyway, what else? Yeah, but then I didn't want to work on it. Oh no, this is what happened. So I was waiting, and I got to a point on my computer. Oh, this is what happened. Okay, so last time before I was gonna ride my bike. I was gonna start riding my bike, which now seems like a totally crazy idea because I can't just abandon my website. If I abandon or if even slowed down on my website, the whole thing would like come unraveled because if I abandon, I think one of the reasons I've been losing stuff on Google Earth is because I took a break from it. You know, I would like forget what I was working on, you know what I mean? And I'd be confused. So I have to keep working on it. Yeah, but I came to the realization because I was like, yeah, let me work on my website, bicycling stuff website. So I go on this, I check out the Strava. I check out the Strava pages, and then I go, oh my God, wouldn't this be so cool if I could get the Google Earth of it and then attach that on there? And, oh wait, I shouldn't eat while I'm doing a video. It's because I was holding that thing. Yeah, so I Strava all of it. Like all 1,100 of them. And then I got done, and it took like a week, and then I got done, and I was like, what now? You know, I didn't know what to do, because there's a limited number of things I can do with this Windows computer, because of the way that I had transferred all my stuff, and it was starting to get confusing. And I can't work really on the website with this computer. Even though I was working on that page, wasn't working on anything else because it's too slow. So I was like, oh, let's Google Earth Boulder, oh my God, right? So I started Google Earthing Boulder, and then I was working on an hour, and by then I was hooked. Like, nothing was going to take me apart. Like, I didn't know anything was going to take me apart from it before. I didn't know that would be possible, and it did. I'm kind of glad that it did, though, to do other stuff. But, yeah, but then like an hour later they called me and they had my computer ready after only like a week, and I went in there and I got it, and it was in the box, and it was cool, man. I haven't put my rainbow crystallinean sticker on my new computer though. There's my rainbow crystallinean sticker. That's the rainbow crystal flag. Ooh, wee. And that's the rainbow crystallinean theme song. Ooh, 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 wee. So I'm really high right now, by the way. I changed a methodology. Oh my God, so much has happened since I did another video. It's really important that I do this video. I changed my methodology of marijuana smoking, man. I mean, I feel like an idiot. It took me this long to get this far. Other people are probably like, ha ha ha, grasshopper. Maybe there's still more things I could learn from the masters. But yeah, I suddenly realized, I was like, because I was sitting there smoking on my Chabler. This is what I smoke weed with, my Chabler. I'm sitting there smoking with my Chabler, you know, and I think it was after I had ran out of nuggets. No, I've been running out of lighters. Green Tree. You can get $100 ounces there, dude. $100 ounces. I went in there the other day. I got 2 ounces for $200, and then I grounded all my weed, man. Grinded it all into powder, man. With the grinder that I got from the what's his name? Dr. Cohen, the dude who gives you the prescription for the weed. And that's medical. The $100 an ounce. You have to have the weed prescription for that. I should have moved back here when they legalized weed. I don't even know when they legalized weed medically, but yeah, it is. If you do it that way, it's cheaper. So, okay, so yeah, I was smoking, you know, and I was just like having to hold down the lighter, you know, and just, you know, and so you're like, am I inhaling butane and then I'm using up lighters? It's like, you know, so because it burns a lot better if you just have the powder. You know, and plus the powder can kind of sift out you don't have to worry about the stems and stuff. There aren't really that many stems, but you break it off the stem and you throw it in, right? So I guess you're smoking on stems, but this filters it out. Sometimes you find them in, but sorry, getting sidetracked. Yeah, and then you can meter it. So what I do is I get this thing. This is Perfect Scoop, the can opener, and you just it's like a spoon, you know, and you just spoon it in, and then all you have to do is dab the fire, and then it burns. That's the best way to smoke weed. I never have asthma at all. Like, my breathing is perfect because I'm on the Advair. So and I'm smoking like good weed. I'm not like smoking like resin straight from the pipe. So yeah, so that was a cool development. So So yeah, so they called me and got my computer, and so by then, see, if they had called me like an hour and a half earlier, I would have been able to. I would have said, "Oh, cool, I can work. I can keep working on the website," because I was working on that. I wanted, like at that point, I really wanted to finish the Strava page, like attach the Google Earth to the Strava page with this fast computer. But but then once I got going on, once I got once I got going on Google Earth, um, I was hooked on that. So, but I've been having catastrophes with the Google Earth. Um, I had lost a lot of stuff before, like last summer on Google Earth, because Google Earth has lots of tricks to make it so that you lose your stuff. One of them is where you, no, I didn't do it this time, where you open up your file, and then so Google Earth has two places where it has files. It has temporary folder and it has My Places folder. Okay, My Places folder is like the folder, the real place, and then temporary, I guess it's where stuff. I don't even know why they have that there, but it's another folder. It's like a background folder. So if you click on Google Earth, it'll open up your file. But this is what happened to me the other day. It opens up your file in the background in temporary, but then in My Places, it opens up the same file because at that time I just called it Boulder. That's all I was called it, Boulder. It opens up in the actual My Places folder, it opens up the same file, Boulder, but from a long time ago. It like has its own memory bank somewhere that it brings up, and then it like randomly likes to bring up really old ones. And so yesterday, I had like a week's worth of work. I had like all of northeastern Boulder, like all of the like a lot of the western, and then into CU, and then like all the houses in downtown from the 1915 map, and yeah, did that. See, I've been able to defend against that because I can upload it to the internet all the time, but I forgot, and yeah, so the one that it brought up was an old version, and it was just a little bit bigger than the last one that I uploaded. Somehow it was like a week since I uploaded. I don't know, but yeah. And so, but I didn't know because it also had my current version in the temporary, but with everything clicked on it, so I could see everything. And so I worked a little bit to add a couple of things, like right before work on 420. And then I was like, oh, what's this? And I deleted the temporary. And then all my stuff disappeared, you know. And once you delete it from the temporary folder or something in Google Earth, there's no like trash bin you can recover stuff. I mean, when it recovers these old files, it recovers it from somewhere I don't know. So, so I was fucked. I lost all that because it was the doppelganger baby. It was the one from like a week ago. In the so I decided to I have to and that I mean, I wasn't really in the mood to do videos. I lost my taste to do videos when the computer kept breaking down, and also to record the audiobooks from Kindle because, uh, and I hope I didn't lose that. I haven't thoroughly looked yet, but it saved automatically to iCloud, which is cool. It's a way you can save stuff. Oh, and then there's that Asperger video. Um, Yeah, I did that video and then I deleted it because I got in trouble for saying too much, and then I was going to take some parts out, but then I deleted it from iCloud because I thought that I'd already uploaded to YouTube, and then I forgot to upload it. I didn't manage to get it to transfer to the external or to my new computer, and so I lost it. And my external went bad too, so I had to buy another external hard drive. Um, Luckily, I transferred my stuff over. I managed to get that stuff over, my important stuff, but yeah, so I lost, but that happened before. I lost like a third, like last summer, I lost like a third of the tribes of America, all the northern tribes of Africa, Greece, Spain. and Italy, and all the rivers of America. So, and I still haven't recovered that or rebuilt that. So, and then so anyway, so then yesterday I work all day, and then so like I think it was like 3 hours of work or something. I saved it. So I have a new method. I upload it all the time, but I also, every time I save it, or every day I save it with the day. So that it can't bring you something. If it tries to bring you something from another day, you can see. And that's actually what it tried to do when I restarted my computer, when I saw it and I opened it. It put 420, which it since been deleted. I deleted it off my computer because every day I delete the one from the day before. But it had it all of a sudden. It had it, boom, right there. Hey, here you go. And I said, haha, you're 420. So I deleted it, and then I drug 423 into it, and then I opened up 423, and it was like the original 423. It had nothing from my last 3 hours of work. It's all gone. I have to do it for the third time. I have to do it 3 times. And the other day, actually, before on 419, I had to do the northwestern boulder twice because I did it the first time. This is another booby trap they have. Every time you build something, then it goes to the temporary folder. And so when you save it, if you forget to collapse it and make sure that it's all in the folder, because the folders fall out, then you don't save it. So I didn't save an entire, like, couple hours worth of work, the entire, like, from the very north part of the map all the way down to past Iris, east of, west of Broadway. I had to do twice because, yeah, that saved it temporary. That didn't really bug me, but then the next day I lost all that other stuff. And, yeah, okay, so, yeah, so I opened it up and it's all gone. 423, it's all gone. I mean, 422. Yeah, so it's like, what, did it save? Did it like bring up from the ether the very first 422 that I saved? So now I have a new one. I mean, that's the only thing that I can think of because I remember saving it. I saved it and then I uploaded it, and the one that I uploaded was the old one too. So, yeah. So now my new method is when I save it, it's not just the day, but it's actually the date, the time, to the minute. So that when I see it and I upload, I can see if it's the one from like 50 minutes ago that it's trying to give to me. So I told this to my mom, and she told me that she thought I was just loopy and I forgot to save it, but I don't think that's what's going on. I think this thing is like fucking with me. I'm using it with the Windows computer. Oh yeah, I think she's saying the computer's going bad. I think, yeah, maybe this computer is just not doing it right. But I've never seen anything like this happen. It's crazy. But I want to do it with this computer because this Macintosh is the only computer that can handle the 1915 map because it's 56 megabytes, and the Windows computer crashes and can't like zoom in and out and move it around. So it's much better to do it. And that's how I was doing it before. I didn't even know how I was doing it. I couldn't tolerate it doing it, the map on the Windows computer. So yeah, it's better this way. Even though this computer does freeze and stuff, but you just restart it. Yeah, see, it's frozen right now. Yeah, so that's what's going on. So that's why I'm super, like, when I lost all that stuff. Oh, because I lost all the houses too. Yeah, I lost all my motivation to do anything other than work on my website. Like, I feel like I'm jinxed or something. So anyway, so that's what's going on. About the drunken video, yeah, I actually didn't want to do that video. That's not the video that I wanted to do. Like, that kind of, I'm a little bit embarrassed about that. That makes me seem like kind of a bitch. What happened was I've been thinking about doing a drunken video, angry drunken video. And then I got drunk because my roommate came in at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, and with 2 6-packs of nice beer because his sister had the birthday that day, and so he wanted to give her a 6-pack, but she didn't want it, And then when he bought her a six pack, he was gonna buy us one too. But he never drinks, and I never drink. So he brings in two six packs, and I haven't drinking forever, you know. So I was like, oh, beer, and then he sat down with me, had a couple of beers, and then I got like drunk. Yeah, and then he went in his room, and then I got like the next day there were only like three beers left. So between the two of us, two beers left, we had 10. He said he had three, which means I at least had seven, but I think he only had two because he wasn't hanging out for very long. So I think I had like eight. But yeah, I was like, let me do a drunken video. And I was like, yay! But then I did that video. But the real video that I wanted to do was how I'm pissed off that I can't get the job at the Walmart. Um, because I'm a stoner. So yeah, but I think I'll wait on that one. Yeah, I could go on for a really long time. That'd be interesting to be angry for a really long time. Let myself get really broke. I'm gonna sell my van and then I'll like I don't know. We'll see what happens. But if I do get broke, I'll be like, I want my stalker job. That'd be the perfect job for me because as a stoner, because you can just, I mean, I was in there last night and you see the guys just like sweeping, you know, and you're like, oh my God. And I saw the you know, the sign. They want the midnight maintenance. They want trying to hire the sweepers. I mean, what an easy job. Perfect for me. Just listen to your audiobook and sweep. But yeah. I'm start at $13 an hour, which is a lot to me. I'd be like, because if you stack it back to back, I don't need that much money to survive. But yeah, but yeah, the weed, that's fucked up. But there's actually a problem. There's another problem, having to do with laws and me. Besides weed, or bigger problem than that, because like. And it's the audiobooks, because like you can ride around stone, nobody can tell. But what if people make it illegal to do that on the road, and then they start pulling you over? I mean, because isn't it technically illegal to do that? That would not work because I mean, I couldn't ride a bike. I couldn't go out and ride my bike at all, like on the trails and stuff. You know, only intermittently or whatever, but I don't think I could do it if I couldn't listen to like music and the audiobooks and stuff, because you know, it's like I wouldn't feel like I'm doing anything. So, and it's perfect. It's the perfect complementary to each other. You can learn them best when you're riding a bike because you can concentrate on your stuff and your brain's working and your body's working, circulation. You know, and you can also hear, you know, cars and stuff. So it's not, and people do it anyway. So why the hell would you try to make something? Hello, my computer just stopped recording because the hard drive filled up. Because when I transferred stuff from the bad hard drive to my computer, and then I used my computer to transfer the stuff to my good new hard drive, but I never got around to deleting the stuff from my computer. So yeah, so then my computer filled up because I think I've been downloading videos from YouTube, all the different bicycling videos. That was when I thought I was going to start riding my bike. So anyways, so I was talking about these, yeah. So we have to let people listen to these. So this is my fight, not the marijuana fight. You know, Feng Shui, Art of War. You have to pick your fights. This is my fight. So, why does all the genius stuff have to be illegal? Smoking weed, and riding your bike and driving your car, listening to music. Oh yeah, and then you know, I got skin cancer, and so I'm supposed to be super careful in the sun. So I was like, oh, I should when I start riding my bike, I should do it during the nighttime, like on full moons and stuff, so you get in the sun less. And then I can go down to the bike park. Oh no, it's illegal to ride the bike park at night. Probably on the full moon too. Ah, we should make it illegal at least during the full moon, right at night at the bike park, you guys. Lord. Um. Okay, so yeah, so I got really drunk, and then because like you know I was because not too long before that I started listening to the hard. I typed on hard rock on YouTube. Like YouTube has really come a long way. These phones are so smart, and then YouTube is basically the mother site of everything. It's TV for everybody, and it's like where everybody listens to their music. You have the playlist, and you just play it like right off your cell phone. And so I typed hard rock, and there's a playlist of over 4,000 songs, hard rock songs, and so I'm like checking out all the hard rock songs. You know, that was back when I was planning on riding my bike again, figuring out cool songs, and what the hell was I talking about? Um, oh yeah, so I was rocking out and listening, drinking beer, you know, and I just kept drinking, and then I just hit the wall, man. Like I just barfed my brains out, and then I had tried to make it like myself feel better by like drinking water and eating food, like eating porridge and stuff. And then I just barfed that out, and had to go to sleep. And then I was like sick the next day. Alcohol is like poison. Um, I think people are drinking less and less. I predicted when they legalized weed that people would drink a lot less. Like the liquor stores would start to have problems, economic problems. I went into a liquor store yesterday. Yeah, I got a beer yesterday. I didn't want to say admit that, but I got a beer yesterday because I that emotional problem was so catastrophic that I like to drink. That's kind of like the thing that I do, but I couldn't. I couldn't. Um, yeah, I because I got a $10 tip yesterday, but yeah, nothing happened. I drank like the whole thing, and I didn't feel anything because I can't drink the whole thing for some reason. I can't just drink it. I had to sip it, but if you sip it over a course of like 3 hours, nothing happens. But anyway, yeah, I went in there and I wanted to pay with change because there was a pile of change there, and um, I was kind of embarrassed to say that I got a beer today because it was so much. It was like not long ago when I did that other one, but no, I don't. It's true. I never drink. But yeah, I gave the guy like a whole pile of change, and I took 4 quarters, but I knew there was like 450 there. But he's like, is this 360? Because he said 360. He's like, is this 360? I'm like, no, that's just a whole bunch of change. Like you count it. And he's like, and he like started counting it, and he's like, and then he took the rest of my money, and I'm like, is that? He's like, okay, and I was like, that's 360 exactly, like all the change I gave you, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, but anyway, yeah, I think maybe they're getting grumpy because they're not making enough money because people aren't buying alcohol anymore. And that's the same guy. I went in there like a few months ago, and he has these like $5 limit with a credit card. So that's why I went in with change. So if you have a $5 limit with a credit card, like wouldn't you not get pissed off if somebody tries to buy stuff with change and then take the rest of their change? Like anyway, um, I got sidetracked, but yeah, man, I think they're gonna dry up. Like most of them are gonna dry up. I think Boulder's gonna dry up, like just naturally. Boulder was the very first town in the entire country to prohibit alcohol. It was where the whole prohibition movement started, was in Boulder. Prohibition, I think, was in like 1911. When did Prohibition start? 1918 or something like that. And in Boulder, it was in like 1911. because well, let me just get sidetracked. Like Boulder has really interesting history. So up in the mountains, they were all drunks up at the saloons. Like every town had a bunch of saloons. Caribou had like I think up to 9 saloons, and there were like 3 saloons up in Salina, up there on Full Mile Canyon. And I think the reason that there were so many saloons is because people made a lot of money, but it was also an exciting place to be. Way up in the mountains, people aren't used to these beautiful mountains and getting gold right out of the earth. And so they were like, let's party. And to them in those days, drinking alcohol was like modern day weed. It was like the psychedelic and the time to party and have fun. And so that's what people were doing. They were just partying and having fun. But alcohol is not is gets out of control. And so I think it was just making people just spend all their money on it, and wasn't healthy. And so that's why there's such a backlash here, because people drank so much. I listened to there's this audio book called Oregon Trail, something across the Oregon Trail by Lynette Porter. I can't remember her name, but yeah, in 1864 they did the Oregon Trail. In 1864 they passed through Denver, and she was writing about Denver. She said that Denver was the most hideous town she'd ever been to, and she was just disgusted with it. But it was really interesting, like totally wild place. Everybody in the town wore red, um, uh, like pattern red wool shirts, no matter who you were, no matter what station you had, what job you had, and so you couldn't tell who was what. And there were about 200 houses, but there were almost as many saloons as houses. And she'd never seen as many saloons and drunks as in her entire life. And and they like it was right on the river, and they were just to the east of the river. That's where all the wagon train camp was, just to the east of all the houses, and then just to east of them was the Arapaho camp, Arapaho Indian tribe, who was setting up their camp in Denver right next to the white people to be protected from attacks from the Ute Indians, because the Arapaho Indians were going up into the mountains like every day to kill all the Ute Indians. They're having a war. And at night she couldn't sleep at night because all the women were screaming and wailing that they're dead from the day's battle. And one day she was hanging out, and her husband was off like shopping in town, and she was hanging out with the baby um, in her covered wagon with the curtains drawn, and this Indian like warrior opened up the curtains and then tried to grab her gun, but she grabbed it first. And no, he told her that he wanted her to give him bread, but she didn't want to give him bread, so he tried to grab her gun, but she grabbed it. And then he held up like 6 scalps from the day's battle up at with the Utes and gave them to her, and she counted 6 of them, and was like banging on his chest and saying he was like a great warrior, and then like took off, and and after she gave his scalps back. But and then her brother was with him, and he tried to go mining, but he wasn't hard enough of a worker, so he went back home. But yeah, really interesting history out here. But so yeah, maybe weed, and now we're the first place to really like explore weeds, so it's kind of like the modern day Wild West, The drinkers, the alcoholics back in the 1800s, and then the stoners in the 2000s. So that was a cool little story. All right, so anyways, I'm not going to be doing videos for a while because I'm just bummed out. I need to get caught up to where I was before. I need to go in, and I haven't started working yet today. It's 1:08 now. I was working until the catastrophe happened at 2 a.m. and I gave up and went to sleep at that point. And so I'll go here and I'll redo the work that I did before, and I can't do the screen captures. Before I was doing daily screen captures of my progress on Google Earth Boulder, but I can't this time because I'm recording it with my Macintosh and I'm doing Google Earth with my with the Windows computer now. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna I think before I said that the release date of the thing will be this still has a scab on it, man. It's not healing. The release date of the Google Earth Boulder will be the beginning of May, but now I'm going to say the beginning of June because I took like a month off from all of that problems. And then, this is like 2 weeks of worth of fucking shit that I'm losing here. But I think I can maybe get it going if I, because now I have my new method of uploading every day and then naming it. Every time I save it, I name the time of day that I save it. And I save it like every 10 minutes. That's why this is freaking pissing me off. But, save every 10 minutes, and then when you open it up, you get something from like 4 hours ago. Yeah, so, yeah, but I think I can be done just with Boulder itself by the beginning of June. Even though I'm working more now, and I'm going to be as soon as the beginning of May comes around, I'm going to dedicate all my extra time for a little while to getting my car fixed up. I have to reattach the interior panel to the front, and then the side, and then put a new side panel, or I guess build a new side panel. There's this guy here who's going to show me how to do it because he has like the real panel he can loan me, and then I can get it cut off and build my own. And then get the car, and then maybe fix the radio and paint up the rust marks, and then sell the car for as much as I can, get out of debt, and then even have a little bit extra money. So that's what I'm going to do. But I think still by the beginning of June. And but I have lots of ideas to do with it. I'll have the map of 1859, 66, 77, 98, and 1918. 15. And all the buildings are different in all those maps. Like they tear buildings down and build new ones, and so it's interesting. And so there's all kinds of stuff you can do. I'm going to make a YouTube channel just called Google Earth Boulder. And so I'll do the Strava on there, all the other courses that I made, tribes, or we're eventually Sanctamonium tribes, Sanctamonium world, but Boulder, but inside of Boulder, you can do tours, like you can totally adjust it, how far up off the ground you are, the angle of what you're looking at it, and how fast you're going, So here we are, 20 miles an hour, here's the tour of so you can do the tour of like roads that don't exist anymore. You can do tour and panoramas of like overlays, like one panorama of each time period, all in a row of all the interesting intersections or hills, and tours around, like shopping tours of the school bus driver, all kinds of stuff. So, but and it's not even really all that time consuming, and it's interesting. That's where stuff gets fun. The building of it is tedious as hell, especially if you're losing all of your shit, and you have to be on your toes, and you're still on your toes, and then there's throw more fucking curveballs at you. It drives me up the fucking wall, man. But I think I figured out a way. What you do is every time you save it, you save the day and the time, and then so you just and then you upload every single one. So you just stack them up every 10 minutes, and so it can't conjure anything up, and if it does, that it's doing it, and then you can see if the new one will have to be there somewhere. So that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm not gonna be uploading any videos anytime soon because I just don't have the time. I want to get caught up to where I was before. I have to add all those again, and then and then my time will be pressured from all that other stuff. So, but here's my video. That's my update video. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to my angry, I can't get my stock, I want my stalker job video. Alright, peace out.